Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have some old friends in studio with us today, and you're going to recognize them because they're all over the community. It's Tom and Tim Belgio from Belgio Catering. Welcome, you guys. You are
Thank you.
Probably just, I have to say, notable Napervillians.
Wow.
You guys.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
That when we think of food, when we think of good times, that we think of you guys. So.
Great.
Now, you've really grown. We were talking about this off camera about how much NCTV has grown and then how much you guys have grown too. Tell me a little bit about where you started and where you want to be.
We started in 2000 in Naperville in our current same facility we're currently in now. And we did a lot of involvement in community events. It was one of our focuses on the catering side for getting involved in the community. And then we went into doing more corporate, residential, weddings, graduations, and all those kind of events that are people need food catering for.
Right, so there's really no event that they could probably toss at you that you wouldn't want to do, from the picnic to the plated dinner at night with tuxes and lots of nice looking people.
Yeah, for the most part, we do just about anything. Breakfast service, lunch service, omelet stations, pasta stations, carving stations. We've got a full liquor license, so we offer bar service, rentals. So pretty much everything you would need. We even help find venues for someone if they're looking for a certain venue in a certain area. So basically, we can handle just about everything. So.
Well, I think that's the one really nice thing about you guys is that you can come. Lots of people come in like me, and I have to cater an event, whether it be something for NCTV, whether it be a 50th wedding anniversary, whether it be a gala. And you all work with your customers, and I think that's so nice because you have the expertise. I tell you, I would probably underserve my people in one time, or I'd overserve them if you haven't helped me out, because it's so hard to balance.
Well, it is challenging. The options that you have with catering in a venue that you bring stuff into, it's almost like bringing a mobile kitchen with you. You're bringing the tables, the chairs, the linen, the staff, so really you have a shell to work with. And for us, that's great because you have the ability to set things up, and it works well. And you have to try to foresee what's gonna go wrong or go right, and plan accordingly. And that's always challenging, but nevertheless, I mean, we're professionals and that's what we do, so it does work out pretty well.
And how big is the staff now?
We're at 9 full-time and then about 25 to 30 seasonal part-time and temporary. And we gear up for the holidays and for picnic seasons in the summers and different times throughout the year that require additional staffing needs.
Right, because it just seems like every time you're out that you've got a full group out there and they're pretty happy to help, and then they're moving out.
That's one thing that we've been pretty fortunate with over the years. A lot of our clients will say the staff was great, and then they'll say the food was great. But they'll say the staff was great, and they're really personable. And Tim and I know we can't be everywhere. So we entrust our full-time staff as well as our part-time staff to step in and help out, and they're professionals. These are people that have full-time jobs, that have been in the food service business their entire lives. Maybe they're working at the hotel on weekends, and they're looking to pick up a couple shifts. It's worked out well for us to have that flexibility. So.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about menus. You really have a very wide variety to choose from. Whether you want to do something that might be a little bit more of a heavy appetizer, or whether you want to have somebody seated and served, which is always nice.
Sure.
How do you manage that, and how do you choose your food, and how do you know what combinations to go with?
When we sit down with the customer, we find out what their vision is, and then we try to tailor our menu to the vision. And that includes the venue, that includes, do they want it butler pass, do you want to have it plated, do you want to have a buffet? So we get all that data from the customer when we meet with them to find out what their vision on their event is. And they're all different. You can have a baby shower, you can have a wedding, you can have a backyard barbecue. So really we try to find out what they're looking for their vision on their event or the theme of their event. Then we tailor our menu to that. And all the pieces of that go with it, whether it's going to be real silverware, real plates, disposable, butler passing, the menu items, staff on site, no staff on site. Those are all questions that we get from the client when we're meeting with them.
Wow. Well, thank God you're thinking about all of that stuff, because I'm like, I wouldn't have half the answers. So you would.
Well, as you know, there's a lot of planning going in just about anything, and especially a venue that we might be setting up. There's a lot of preparation, there's visits, making sure all the stuff that was going to be promised to us from a venue is on site, and rentals are showing up, and so all those kind of things. Right. So there's a lot of things that come into play when you're going to put an event together. So.
Well, and when you're operating here in Naperville, I mean, it's not uncommon for us to see you at the Wents. It's not uncommon for us to see you, at any one of the great events that are being held. So it must be like Naper Settlement or something. They have some comfort to know that venue a little bit.
Well, I think it's comforting to us as well as probably the people that run the facilities, because they trust who the who the vendor
Right.
is that's in there, and you know who to point the finger at if there's an issue on both ends.
Right.
Yeah.
But and it's nice to just be able to be a part of the community and do some of those events that you had spoke of.
Yeah. And what do you think? You opened in 2000. It's 2014 now. When you think back of that opening day, and you think about where you are now, and you guys have won some wonderful awards from the Chamber for Small Business as well. You, are and I don't want to get the category award, but you're an award winner for that. So you must be very proud. So what's ahead for you?
Well, I mean, now we're kind of full steam ahead again. I mean, the economy's starting to come back a little bit. We're still walking before we run with certain things, and we're just kind of taking it one day at a time. There's always different niches, and especially in this community, we find that we've gotten involved with a lot of great groups. And the community is wonderful to be in. So we just continue to, kind of grow and at a pace that we can manage. We're still very hands-on with everything, and we try to get to just about as many, events as we can. Unfortunately, there's so many hours in the day, and with my 2 kids and his daughter, it does kind of limit us sometimes with things. So we're just, grateful to be still in business and looking forward to another strong year. So.
And different opportunities that are out there. So there's always new creative events that are happening in our community because we're such a vibrant area, and people are always trying to reinvent the box, reinvent the wheel outside the box, and so trying to understand what is coming and how we can fit in, and that's our next challenge.
Right. Well, and I think people, think as you said, the economy's coming back, but as you try to grow ahead, the idea of doing bigger and better events or sit-down events, that's got to attract you guys a little bit and be a goal.
It definitely does, yeah.
We find that as we've grown over the years, we've kind of marketed ourselves in certain directions, and now we're trying to just be a little more aggressive with that little finer stuff. Not real high end, but the ability to have the plated meals and the nice carving stations and those kind of things. So that's kind of what we're focusing on now moving forward here is, we're still going to be doing a lot of the events we've been doing, but we really want to try to focus in on some of the stuff that we hadn't been doing over the years, and hopefully people will be thinking of us at least to have a conversation and sit down with us, maybe come in and sample some of the stuff. That's one good thing about us. We do a lot of sampling, so people can see what we're showing, what we're going to be offering them and how it presents, which is nice. And we can go to their site, they can come to our site, which is pretty convenient if you think about it. And then you can have the conversation right then and there as they're chewing and trying something to say, yeah, they do like this, they don't. So that's really helpful for us, and that's what we're looking forward to in 2014.
I think it's a nice thing for you guys to be. You can handle the small, medium, and large event from backyard to ballroom, and I think that brings a lot of comfort to someone like me who has to juggle all levels of that and is looking for somebody who can really partner. And you guys have been tremendous partners, not only for us but for the community. So we can't thank you enough. We wish you a great 2014. We'll be watching and trying to help you in any way that we can. So
thank you.
Thanks for stopping by, giving us a little idea of what it's like to be a caterer here in Naperville. We'll be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.